Anyway, welcome, and we're bringing in the light. So this is the fourth time that we have done Christmas of the Angels. Charlie updates it every year with regard to the astrological readings. So this will be new information. This is, I believe, the first time that we've done it on the Friday meditation. It's come on the actual solstice on other times. So, Charlie, are you ready?
Yep, let me see if I push the right button. And make sure to put on this other button here. Nope.
So thanks everybody for being here, and thank you, Charlie, for doing this once again.
Okay, Lynn, you can introduce.
Yes. So here we are with the Christmas of the Angels, the winter solstice, this wonderful program where we get to have Dora be with us. And I hope that you all will enjoy this lovely program. The winter solstice is one of the most powerful points of the year, when the energy pattern of the earth pauses, shifts, and moves in the opposite direction. For 3 days around the solstice points, we may physically, mentally, and spiritually experience this standstill and shift of direction. At the solstice, the Earth's axis reaches its maximum tilt away from the sun. It marks the symbolic death and rebirth of the sun. The gradual waning of daylight hours is reversed and begins to grow again.
Spiritually, the solstices and equinoxes are inner cosmic festivals of the cyclical energy patterns of the earth and the living inner forces of nature. Some of the astrological forces at play now in the atmosphere is Mercury retrograde, which started on December 14th and will go on until January 2nd. It can affect communication, mail, emails, and travel. So be more attentive to those areas if any troublesome issues pop up during this holiday season. One of the bigger, somewhat challenging energy aspects still playing out is through the slow-moving planet of Pluto. It has hovered on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, going forward and going retrograde. These last 2 years, and will continue this movement as part of the 2024 cycle. In November 2024, Pluto moved totally into Aquarius, or moves totally into Aquarius, until the year 2043. Pluto has been symbolically connected to the shadow areas of the human psyche, and also drastic world changes we have recently faced, such as the COVID, world conflicts and aggressions, and also personal transformations. Some other big astrological aspects coming up next year will be in April with the planet Jupiter, which is related to the energy of expansion and good fortune. It will be conjunct to the planet Uranus, which is related to unexpected happenings. This conjunction happens close to the complete solar eclipse, also happening in April. The Jupiter-Uranus conjunction can portend some hopefully positive, unexpected shifts in various ways of looking at things, both subjectively and in world events.
Let's hope these new changes will be beneficial and uplifting for the whole earth and all of humanity. Charlie will now lead us in a group meditation.
Okay, everybody. Let's all take a deep breath and relax our physical bodies. Feeling our connection to the earth beneath our feet. Take another deep breath. And let us feel our connection as a group. Feel ourselves being centered within our heart center. As we relax, take another deep breath. Let us feel our connection to our inner self, that place of peace deep within. As we continue to quiet, let us feel our connection to the earth, the whole earth. As a living being. Let us feel our connection now to the sun, the center of our solar system. and to its connection to the earth. Trying to feel our inner connection to the presence of the solstice. Again, centering within our hearts. Let us radiate peace and light and healing out to the whole earth. Out to all of humanity. And to all sentient beings. The following is paraphrased from The Christmas of the Angels, a pamphlet published with the creative assistance of Dora Kuntz. The whole holiday season, December each year, is a joyful time of peace and goodwill towards all people. To those sensitive, it brings forth the inherent unity and the essential inseverability of all of humanity. It's also a time to feel our connectedness with the superphysical beings which also play their part in the inner worlds.
These beings of angels and archangels are living presences who partake in the inner evolution of the earth itself and with humanity. Indeed, the whole angelic outlook upon life differs very considerably from the human. We generally look upon the universe from the standpoint of form, thinking first of the form and only then of the life that energizes and ensouls it. That is the typically human point of view.
And even when the inner vision is opened and sight of the invisible world is gained, the human observer still looks first at the form side of those worlds, and only partially at the consciousness playing through the different forms.
The angel's point of view is exactly the opposite. They look first at the life or consciousness, and then, only as a secondary consideration, at the form in which that life is enshrined. That is the typically angelic point of view.
If we look at a human being, for example, we should look first at the physical body, and then if we can see, we look at the emotional, mental, and causal bodies, seeing their different colors and striations, and judging their character and inner possibilities according to their delicacy and arrangements.
But the angel would regard the person from the standpoint of consciousness, would look to see how far spiritual life has manifested in the individual, how many forces were able to play through that person. And only then would the angel look at the form of the higher bodies.
This is the fundamental difference in outlook belonging to the two separate lines of evolution. This season and the winter solstice are turning points of all the forces of nature on every plane and every level of consciousness. A time in which a direct and mighty outpouring of creative power and spiritual energy from the highest takes place.
I believe that there are these angelic beings and that they are part of our world picture. I've emphasized that the idea of Christmas, even if it's not called Christmas, it's really the winter solstice coming in, is really a world idea. And what I feel very strongly, particularly at this time, is that we do not realize how closely we are bound together in the world. We share so many ideas, and more or less what I feel strongly today is we don't realize that we are bound together by our feelings. That our feelings do not stop by the body, that what we feel reaches other people. And that we have, therefore, a much more profound effect upon one another and the world because our feelings reach around the world. And therefore, happiness, unhappiness, I personally feel that today there is great anxiety in the world. I really think there is a sort of pervasive anxiety in the world. And I think it is shared again. There are angelic forces and there are angels. I think they have a part to play in the world around us. They have their own roles, these beings, to play. They do not only exist to help humanity, as we sometimes think. I think they are part of the world of nature. They are also playing their part, if we can call it, in a divine plan, a divine world. I'm not talking about one faith only. I'm talking about it as a world picture. I think that at Christmas time, that these beings, which we call angels, do have a special role to play. These beings, and I'm going to talk about their work and something of what they do. At this time of year, I think all over the world, because with the winter solstice and because so many religions have this faith, pour a special energy and a special blessing upon this world. It is an energy which all of us can appreciate if we understand how to connect with it and how we can use it for helping others. It isn't for us, it is for helping the world. That angels are part of a world picture. They are, of course, living not in the physical world as we see it. Wherever we go, there are really these angelic presences all through the land. And I always think of them as that. Their outlook on life is not like ours. You must think, first of all, is in much bigger terms than ours. We think in terms of our small communities. We think of a separated world. They are thinking of large blocks, this sense of unity. I think people today and in the next 2 weeks, they will be praying in many churches, in many religious places, and they will have this sense of devotion, and I think very much often this sense of sharing. I mean, don't you think this very often goes with the Christmas spirit today? It doesn't last the whole year necessarily, but for this place it does, doesn't it? I think what the angels have, beside this sense of strength and balance, I think this is why symbol of light is involved so differently from us. They have a joyousness. They have compassion. We feel compassion. If we could really feel compassion, if you are helping people without constantly judging what is right or wrong, it is the orderly process. If you develop anger because something is very wrong when you are helping somebody, your part of you becomes split again into anger instead of spending your energy completely in sending love and compassion. It's a very difficult thing to practice, isn't it? And this is the month, therefore, beside the sharing and the giving, we could all help. If we could say, even for these 2 or 3 weeks, I get irritated, I get angry, I get depressed, not only because it is in me, but I'm reacting to the atmosphere of thousands of people around me. Because the outside influences at this time of the year and at this particular year are very powerful also. I think if we learn that, we each are giving something of ourselves. And Christmas isn't the giving of presents, it's a giving of ourselves in our thoughts, in our prayers, and this sort of thing. I think this, and that requires discipline. This is the greater gift than giving presents, I really feel, to keep this going and thinking about it for the next 2 or 3 years. 3 years wouldn't be nice. I meant to say 2 or 3 weeks. It'd be lovely if I could say 2 or 3 years. We can call upon their energies through prayer, through thinking, if we are imbued with the desire to help others. I think they also are in the world of ideas. I think the world today is in a great crisis of many changes. I think if all of us could think of these beings, and I like the word associated with them. In Sanskrit, they call devas, the beings of light. And I think we all in this way could, in our daily lives, think at Christmas, this tremendous outpouring of love towards humanity from these beings, if we realize it. Shall we have a meditation now? So what I would like us to see is to relax and just to feel as close as a group as we can. Now let us think of a tree, a waterfall, whatever it is, which to us is a symbol of peace. Let's visualize that. Now let us be just absolutely still and quiet within us for one moment. Now let us think of the angels for one moment and think of humanity and send out peace with the blessing of the angels. These thoughts of peace. Thank you.
You are held by holy angels, holy angels, all around you. Hush now, sleep, child, sing the holy angels. We are holding you. You can rest. Morning will come, child. The dawn will break through the darkness. We are holding you through the light of the newborn day. Lulu, 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 Hey.